Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back! 7 Days to Die, 9.3, nothing's changed. Freaking sucks. Anyways, this is Rome, part 15, big 1-5. It's funny, because I think, quite possibly, we might be done with this place by 20. I mean, each episode we normally do about an hour, so 5 more hours will work on this. I feel like we'd probably have it done, or at least the structure done, and probably be working on the track, if anything. But yeah, welcome guys, thanks for watching, thanks for staying involved and sticking with this. It's good old-fashioned build time here. Yes, it is. Again, this is a really nice change of pace from the normal mode, because it can kind of damper your creativity in the normal mode, and this kind of unleashes it. Pretty creative. I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't wanna live my life again. Oh yeah. So, what's your thoughts on this Gotham show, man?
I like it.
I have one problem with it. Hold on, let me destroy this block and I'll explain. I have one minor gripe with the show. By the way, guys, we're talking about the Gotham show that's on Fox that just came out. It's about 3 episodes in. My one gripe, and it's really not even that big of a one, but it's one that, like, it kind of ruins some things, is whenever they introduce a character that's like a Batman character, that's not just a random character that they, like, created, they always say the name, like, full. Like, they're like, Edward, come over here and do this. Come on, Nigma, just do it. Like, you know, they have to say the first and last name, and it's like, it kind of ruins, like, the Easter egg that they're trying to put out. You know, it's like, he's not the Riddler yet, he's just Edward Nigma.
Yeah.
But they have to say his full name. It's like, it would have been way better if they were just like, hey, Ed, come over here. And you're like, wait, is that the Riddler? Is that going to be the Riddler? And they don't say his name until way later on. You know what I mean? It's like the first episode or whatever, they say his full name. Same thing with, like, Selena Kyle. It's like, my name's Kat. It's like, no, your name is not Kat. You're Selena Kyle. You are not Catwoman yet, so your name is not Kat. Like, I thought that was dumb. Your name should not be Kat. You should be Selena Kyle. See, in the...
It's her nickname.
But it doesn't make any sense. At all.
But you don't know if that's really what happened.
Hold on, what? Say that one more time.
What?
Say that one more time, I had to delete something. I was destroying stuff, so people probably didn't hear me.
Like, when they say that kind of stuff when they're kids, like, there's nothing to say if that's how it went in the comic or not.
It didn't go that way in the comic. Her name was never Kat, her name is Selena Kyle. That's not even a nickname or anything. My point is that with every character in the show that they've released, they say their full name, and they have some type of, like, hint to their future villain or hero. Like Batman, or like Bruce Wayne. He's, like, burning himself and doing all this, like, really weird shit, and it's like, dude, you're like 10. Your parents just died. You should be going through that stuff when you're in your 20s and you're trying to figure out who you are. Not when you're 10 and you still play with, like, remote control cars and your imagination's still flourishing and stuff. It's like, it just seems like they're just kind of ruining some of the things that I thought would be really cool about the show, where, like, they kind of, you know, could explain a lot more about these characters. Like for instance, in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight Rises, Catwoman was never called Catwoman. Never called Cat or anything. All she was a cat burglar, which is an actual thing. It was kind of like a tip off your hat to the realism of Christopher Nolan, where he didn't want to be like, I'm Catwoman. I'm a superhero. And it's like, they kind of went along with what my brother brought up about the series, right after The Dark Knight came out. Was like, well, who else are they going to be able to do, like, as a bad guy for Batman? And, like, people will be like, oh, the Riddler will be the next guy. And it's like, the problem with the Riddler is, one, he's a lot like the Joker. And you have to have a reason why these people dress up. Like, in Batman, or in Christopher Nolan's universe. Like, in that universe, people don't just dress up like these people and like, hey, I'm the new super villain or whatever. It's like, it's more based in reality, and people don't just dress up unless there's something wrong with them, or something you can explain it somehow in the story. Like, Joker just bought the suit with the Mavs money that he stole. That's it. Like, and he didn't even wear the suit the entire time. A lot of times, he's in that nursing outfit and stuff like that. Or like the soldier outfit. Anyways, like, I just feel like sometimes it's a shame when they take, like, the source material and they try to, like, make it seem like an Easter egg, but also, like, I don't know, it's almost like they're trying to make the show, like, more for people that don't know what Batman is, and then it ruins it for the people that are actually Batman fans. It's like, we know Selina Kyle is Catwoman. You don't need to tell us that her name is Cat. We know that Edward Nygma is the Riddler, so let's try to make him not so obvious. It's like, literally, when I'm watching that show, all I feel like is I'm just waiting for them to turn into the characters they're supposed to be. Because since you've ruined it and you've let me know that these characters are who they are, there's no surprise. It's just like I'm just waiting for them to do something that's like their character that they are. It's like, there's no surprise. There's no, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of a letdown, because I don't really give a shit about what the Penguin does until he becomes the Penguin. Like, the actual villain. And I don't care that Batman's trying to be all emo and burn himself and shit because his parents. And, like, here's another thing. Kind of along the same lines, but one of the things that, like, was never done in any Batman movie or anything up to this moment. They killed off Martha and Thomas Wayne in the first episode. Why couldn't you have had a couple episodes with them in it to explain, like, to get you feeling a little bit worse about Batman or about Bruce Wayne, like, get some connection with those characters so that way when they die, it's like you feel like you've lost someone. Like in the Batman Begins movie, there was more time with Thomas and Martha Wayne than there was in this show. And they had a lot less time to actually work with in Batman Begins. Like when Thomas and Martha Wayne died in Batman Begins, I felt bad. Like, I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, Thomas was a really nice guy. He loved his son. He, always tried to teach him good life lessons and stuff. And then in this show, it's just like, first episode, they're dead. You don't even know who they are. And it was just kind of like, you have an entire show.
It just, like, goes up, and it's just like, give me your money, and then, like, he gives him the money, and then he wants the necklace or whatever, and then he just shoots him. Like, he knows what he wants, and then it's just like, boom.
I mean, I don't think it's necessary to change the way they die, necessarily, because I feel like, that's part of his origin story, and it just makes sense, but I feel like they could have prolonged it. Like, I feel like the end of this season should have been their death. I think that would have been a cool, like, done, the season's over, Thomas and Martha Wayne are dead. Because they could have had the first season explaining how much Thomas and Martha Wayne impacted the city in a good way, and how much their death could bring the city down on its knees. So when you're watching it, you're like, oh, they're such good people, they're doing all this cool stuff and everything. And then, like, when when they die in the end of the last episode, you'd be like, oh shit, stuff's gonna hit the fan when next season starts because they're gone now, and how is the city gonna be able to keep the wheels turning and stuff?
More centered on the villains and Gordon.
You're right, but my point is there's plenty of comics and background on all those characters. It's not like they don't have enough to work with. There's plenty of Batman origin stuff that they could do with those characters. Like have, you know, Commissioner Gordon and stuff like that working with Thomas Wayne. Like it doesn't have to. It's not like a crazy stretch of the imagination. You know, like it just seemed like a waste of an opportunity. And because they've revealed all the characters, you know, before they become these villains, like, oh, it's the Riddler, even though he's Edward Nygma right now. It's like, I don't really care about Edward Nygma, I just want to see the Riddler. And now that you've let me know that that's him, I don't care about that, I just want to see him now. You know, it's like, half the fun of a lot of shows is not knowing what happens next, but when you give away every Easter egg, and right now I'm trying to make bunny ear quotations with my fingers when I say Easter egg, because they're not Easter egg. Easter eggs are a subtle hint to what could be. Not, this is it. Ha ha ha, it's awesome. Hold on. Oh shit.
Space engineers yet?
No, not yet.
Better do it. Today's the last day.
You know, well, you better get your freaking computer, dude. I mean, when are you gonna get your computer? Because if it's not gonna be for a while, then I have time to buy it.
May not be on sale.
Yeah, but the Steam sales are coming up. Yeah. Pretty decent show. I'm enjoying it, but I don't feel as of right now it's gonna be like one of my favorite shows. It'll be something I watch, but there's no way it's going to be another Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad or Dexter or any of those things where it's like, oh my god, this show's awesome. And I'm watching American Horror Story right now, which is pretty good so far, at least. It's pretty cool, but I feel like they're kind of losing their way when it comes to a lot of things.
I haven't watched it
like
in a long time. I thought they lost their way. A lot of them.
Well, first of all, the third one was trash. The Coven one was complete bullshit. They should have made that in, like, the 16th century, like, right when, like, you know, the settlers came over from Europe and landed in America and just had, you know, like, the shirts on their backs and a couple stuff and just a little, like, village in the middle of the woods and had, like, witches, like, terrorizing them. That would have been cool. But in, like, the South with a bunch of fucking teenage girls, it's like, that is not cool. And they're all, like, one of them's, like, got Down syndrome, and the other one's a big fat-ass bitch, and the other one's, like, a slut, and then one of them's, like, the nice girl. It's just, like, it was dumb. I didn't like it. The second one, the Asylum one, was pretty good. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. I didn't get into it. Like, it was just like...
Yeah, I wasn't...
I missed the time.
I wasn't, like, blown away by it.
Yeah,
But there were a couple...
watched.
There were a couple moments that I liked, like when when that one chick, the news reporter that ends up getting thrown in there, like, but she's not insane, she just gets thrown in there and, like, wrongfully accused kind of thing. And, oops. I think yep. I just lost Nick, guys. Beep. He's flatlined. Hold on, let me get this thing going again. Oops-a-daisy. Continue that convo in a second when he gets back on. We're almost there. Hold on. Sorry about that. He's wondering why the hell it got disconnected. God damn it, I messed up. So yeah, guys, we're gonna start a new playlist, for the lack of a better word, or series. I don't wanna use the word series because it's kind of disconnected. It's not like a episode kind of thing, the way that a lot of our series are. But we're gonna do this thing that's basically like it's not a let's play. It's like a let's try. Where we're gonna be playing games just once, like one part per game, and just see if they're any good. And then that way, you know, you guys don't have to spend your money on stuff. You can see us play it first and then see if you really want to just give it a shot yourself. So yeah, we'll do like scary games and all sorts of ridiculousness. It'll be a little more random, and I'm sure we'll have games on there that we'll go back to more than once, but it's going to be a majority of it will be you know, games we just try out, like something, you know, kind of ridiculous or whatever that may spark our interest. Oh god, this is going to be interesting. Not sure how I'm going to do this one. I want to get these, I almost said stairs, these these seats, excuse me, done. And we've made progress though. This thing is almost done. Well, not almost, but close. Alright, let's see if we can get him back. Try to connect him again. Connect. I can hear. Oh, he's still working over here. Interesting. Giving him a ring. What up, man? Sorry.
Did your iPad die?
iPad died.
Nice.
Yes. So anyways, American Horror Story. Asylum was cool. There's a couple things that I liked about it. One was when the girl, the reporter chick or whatever that was wrongfully accused, was saved by like the, or taken out of the asylum by the so-called, I don't know if I think he was like a counselor or something like that, like a doctor or something. And when she takes him home, she's like sitting there like on his couch, and he's kind of like acting kind of weird, and she kind of feels like this weird sense of like something's wrong, you know? And she just happens to like look around, and you notice that like everything's made out of like really weird shit. Like the lamps are made out of like skin, and like the lamp shades, and like the bowls are made out of like skull heads and stuff. And then she realizes that the killer that's been like running loose is him. So that realization was pretty cool. And like the doctor guy, the mad doctor dude who always did those weird experiments, the guy they got for him was really well done. But I liked it. For me right now, the thing that's bothering me the most about American Horror Story, and I thought it would be fine, but it's starting to like take me away from the experience, is using the same actors over again. Like, it's hard for me to watch the show and not see the other characters, you know, in, like, especially like Tate's character, the guy from the boy from the first one.
Yeah.
Like, any character he plays now, I'm just like, that's Tate. Jessica Lange, the main character, I don't really have too much of a problem with. Just some of them, I can't help but see them. There's a serial killer clown in this one, and he's awesome. He's got the creepiest mask thing ever. It's like a half mask. It's weird.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the new ones.
Yeah, you need to do yourself a favor. Because it's freaking awesome. It is awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but it's good. It's like Gotham good. I'm definitely right now, #1 show is Game of Thrones. For sure. Anyone who doesn't like Game of Thrones is a complete maniac. Has absolutely no taste in good writing or storytelling. Like, it is so freaking good. And it's one of those shows that, like, it takes its sweet-ass time when it comes to, like, story development, character development, and everything. Like, you know, you'll watch the first season, and it doesn't necessarily grab you. Like, you can watch the first season and not walk away and be like, that's the best show in the world. But if you make it to the third season, like, if you watch them all, you will enjoy them. It's not like you wouldn't enjoy the show. It's like Gotham. If you watch Gotham, it's not like you'd be like, that was fucking completely boring. I didn't enjoy anything. It's entertainment. You do enjoy it. But, like, if you made it through episode, or, season 3, you're, like, officially a Game of Thrones mega fan. Like, there's no one that gets that far and isn't absolutely obsessed with Game of Thrones after that. Because by that time, you love every character, love and hate every character. And the show has got you by the balls. Oh. Can't wait till I'm done with these stairs. Is the game running better for you?
No.
No? So, bitch, man. Well, I didn't know if it was coming alive or not. Coming to yeah. Wait. Okay, good. I will live a happy life if I never have to make seating again.
Oh, you didn't call stairs.
I know. I know. You should.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, you mean stairs, and then see if you agreed with me.
Oh,
Mess with you.
that's evil.
Yeah, but if you gotta put it, you're like, yeah, stairs. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. It's like in Family Guy where that slave ship or whatever is driving, and like all the slaves below deck are like, "Hey, Captain, where are we going?" And he's like, "Shut up," or whatever. And he's like, "Don't make me turn this place around, or turn this ship around," because he's like leaving. He left from Africa to pick up the slaves, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "All right, fine." And he's like, "Wait a minute." That's a good show. Stelio. Stelio Cantos. Stelio. Stelio Cantos. That'd be an awesome Halloween costume. Just dress up like Stelio Cantos. Just get like a bowl cut and just wear like t-shirt and jeans, and then just have a boombox that plays that over and over again. So whenever you walk into a room, it's like, Stelio. Like, people hear it before. It'd be funny if, like, people heard it before they saw you. So it's like,
What the heck is that?
Stelio. Stelio Cantos. Stelio. You stare. Seating.
Seating.
So close.
Almost fell the stairs. That was almost a fit.
Yeah. Almost. Have you, watched the movie Odd Thomas on Netflix?
No.
It's got, like, ridiculously high ratings.
Really?
Yeah, it's got 5 out of 5 stars. I done watching it.
That's recommended for you. So
No, Ren has the same thing. Ren watched it for the same reason I did.
Well, if you watch the same things, but the thing is, it rates it to you. So I could have it.
Well, that's bullshit, because there are movies on there that I think are awesome that people rate like bullcrap.
It's not.
I don't
It's
think.
just the people that rate it that like the same thing you did. That's how Netflix works.
Well, it doesn't seem to make any sense, because all the shit that I don't like are rated high, and all the stuff I do like is rated low. It's like The Crow. 3 stars, maybe 4 stars, then it's like, The Avengers. 5 stars. I'm like, yeah, okay. That piece of shit movie. Don't get me wrong, people. The Avengers is slightly entertaining. But it's no Dark Knight Rises. Or Dark Knight. Or Batman Begins. Or pretty much anything else. And Iron Man 3 sucked dick. It was one of the biggest letdowns in the entire world. It was like, we're gonna have this awesome character that might be like psychological to mess with Iron Man, so it's not just a fight. You know, because one of the genius things that Christopher Nolan did with the Batman series was he didn't have every Batman villain be the same fight. He had them test Batman in different ways. The Scarecrow tested his fear. The Joker tested his, like, intellect. And then Bane tested his, like, physical strength and skill. And with Iron Man, it's like every single movie, it's like, oh, robot, you're fighting a robot, you're fighting another Iron Man. So it's just the same thing over and over again. And then finally, Iron Man 3 comes out, and you're like, oh, cool. The, what's his name? Just with an M. Oh, this is gonna kill me. It's not... It's Mermaid. No, it's the... God damn it. Everyone... Well, anyways... The Mandarin, that's what it is. There's this guy called the Mandarin who's like a terrorist. And he's just a dude that blows shit up and gets stuff done. And I thought it was gonna be cool because it was just like this guy who's like really smart and he's like a ghost. You know, like he's everywhere but nowhere at the same time kind of thing. And, by the way, spoiler alert, if you care about this movie, it's about to be ruined. Not that it matters, because it's pretty fucking stupid. Anyways, the Mandarin halfway through the movie ends up being an actor. Not even a real villain. He's just a guy that was basically doing a prank. So you just find out he's just an actor that was put to doing that. And, then Iron Man's, like, right before that scene happened, Iron Man's house gets destroyed by a bunch of attack helicopters. So, like, his Iron Man suits are gone, he has nothing, like, he's basically, like, out of all his shit, so he's just kind of, like, hiding out in the middle of the woods in some other state, and he runs into this kid that helps him, like, build a new Iron Man suit, or something like that, and... No, the kid's just the only person he runs into that's obsessed with Tony Stark, so he kind of, like, does, like, the, alright, I'll hang out with you kind of thing. But the dumb thing is he gets this suit or whatever, and, or he repairs his suit, and goes and fights the real bad guy, which is, Guy Pearce, who's from, like, movies like, what movie is that? What's the one where he, like, doesn't have any, he, like, loses his memory? It's a Christopher Nolan film. It's actually a really good movie. Anyways, he's just a normal guy. It's not, Insomnia. It's... What?
That's like, you almost said amnesia.
Yeah, I almost did. It's... Oh, it's gonna bother me. Anyways, he fights him or whatever, and, like, I don't know, the, like, last 30 minutes of the movie, he, like, calls in, like, 30 Iron Men to come help him fight. He's got remote control Iron Men that are, like, Iron Man suits that are underneath his house. So the entire, like, middle half of the movie, you're watching it and you're like, hold on one second, my fucking fucked up again. So the entire middle half of the movie you're watching, and he's, like, out in the middle of the woods, and he can't get back to his house to help, his girlfriend or whatever, and make sure she's okay and stuff, because he's stuck there trying to rebuild his suit, and then at the end of the movie, when his suit that he just got done rebuilding gets destroyed, he calls in 30 more Iron Men to come save him and help him. Like, they're remote controlled, but he can, like, get in them. So, like, they fly around and do things on their own, but, like, if he, like, walks over to one, he can just hop right in it. And I was like, wait, what? Where did those come from? And why didn't you get those to come get you when you were out in the woods? It was like, there were so many holes in that movie, it was absolutely crazy. And I'm sick of seeing Iron Man fight Iron Man. I want to see Iron Man walk up and just stone cold punch a random dude in the face. Like, seriously, dude, that's what I want to see. And I please, if you guys are listening to this and you think I'm wrong, please write in the comments, because I'll gladly argue with you. Like, here's an example. Here's an example, okay? Part of the things that make superheroes a lot of fun is seeing them do things that normal people can't do, but would love to be able to do. Like, for instance, the RoboCop movie that came out, okay? In the original RoboCop, the first, 20 minutes of him being RoboCop, he's not, busting into drug dens and taking people out. He's just, attacking, random, burglars and, armed robberies and people that are, stealing purses on the street. He's doing things that, you'd like to see RoboCop just, beat some ass, some, street justice. Where it's not, this crazy, over-the-top stuff. When this guy's, holding up this store, he just walks in and just beats this guy's ass, in this normal gas station. It's sweet. It's cool to see that, average crime get taken down by a badass. But in the new one, no, he doesn't do any of that. He goes after, these huge drug organizations and crazy things like that, where it's, you're shooting 15 guys and everything, and it's just, it's more fun to see these guys do more realistic crimes, because it's a super, what's the word? It's just, you're not seeing a police officer handle the crime. You're seeing an awesome superhero do it. It's I'd like to see Iron Man, break in, stop a bank robbery. Or, something that's more realistic, not always fighting other Iron Men. It would be really cool for any superhero in the Marvel Universe, especially, because normally they're a little more imaginative. They're not as based in reality as DC on most levels. It would be cool to see them stop just a random, burglar or robber or rapist or whatever the hell you want to do. It would be awesome. This guy is just, going to town on this girl, trying to, get in her pants, and, he just swoops in and, lifts him up and just takes him to, 1,500 feet and just drops him. I don't know, something sweet.
$1 million worth of damage, not getting in trouble.
Yeah, right.
You saved us, but you cost $1 billion to the city.
Well, it's like Superman. When you watch the new Superman, The Man of Steel, which I liked. I thought it was a good movie. I thought that's as good as you can make a Superman movie. I don't think you can make a Superman movie better than that movie. Because he's the Man of Steel. He can do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to make a movie like that feel real. Oh, I fucked this up. Oh well. No one will know. But with Man of Steel, he destroys the entire city. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's on Netflix, dude, isn't it?
I haven't seen the first Superman.
You don't have to see the first Superman. Man of Steel is the first Superman. Man of Steel is the first. You know the Batman vs Superman movie they're making?
Yeah.
Man of Steel is the movie before that. Batman vs Superman is the sequel to that. So if I were you, I'd get on it. Anyways, it's a really good movie. It's entertaining, but he ends up fighting General Zod, who's this general from Krypton or whatever, in Metropolis, and they just fucking destroy everything. They're fighting each other, and they're, taking down skyscrapers and all this ridiculous stuff. Literally, they destroyed all of Metropolis by the end of the movie. And it was really cool visually, but when you kind of, step back and realize, you're yeah, you kind of did more damage than they were probably gonna do. But that's not true, because he was planning on destroying the whole planet, but still, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if someone attacks again, is the city even going to be able to be rebuilt before, you know, they destroy it again? Because the amount of damage they did in that movie, there's no way that city would be built, you know, within 10 years. It would take at least 10 years for that to happen. I mean, the Freedom Tower just got done being built not that long ago, and that was two buildings that collapsed. Now imagine if, like, the whole city of New York fell down.
Yeah, they'd rebuild.
They'd have to tear... Not even... The rebuilding wouldn't be the thing that would take forever. It'd be hauling all that twisted steel and concrete out of there. Like, have you ever had, like a big knot of wire and trying to, like, untangle it?
Yeah.
Imagine that with, like, concrete on top of it. That would fucking suck. Oh my god, that job would be absolutely terrible.
And cars.
And people? Be dead bodies and shit.
Dead bodies, that'd be just... It'd be horrible.
Yeah.
It'd take a year and a half just to clean all the mess.
It would take longer. Well, in the Superman movie, it would take way longer than that. But on the other hand, Superman could probably help. You know, he'd probably be able to just throw shit around, you know. Or he could just walk over with his heat vision and just melt everything down to nothing. Just...
Yeah, you could do that. Just be like, oh, found another dead body. Here you go.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering splendor. La 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 la.
So I just finished the World War Z.
The movie?
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't... Like, it wasn't the best movie I saw, but...
No. When I walked out of the movie theater, I was like, that was better than I thought. It was an entertaining movie, but...
It was a lot better than what I thought and what other people said about it.
I'm just kind of sick of the whole zombie thing. I'm just sick of zombies right now.
Guys are playing this game.
Shit it. Honestly, though, I wouldn't mind seeing a zombie like Dawn of the Dead zombie. Not Dawn of the Dead, I'm sorry. Night of the Living Dead zombie. Where it's like the dead come alive, not like a virus. I think that would be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not people, like, people that are alive, but the people that are dead, that are in graves, start coming out of the graves, that would be sweet. There doesn't even have to be a reason behind it. Just be like, one night, shit hits the fan, God's angry, that's the story.
Well, they actually have, Legend is the movie. I think that's what it's called.
Legend?
Yeah, what is it called?
Legend is a movie with Tom Cruise in it, from, like, the 80s, which is actually pretty cool. If you're into, like, seeing, like, a really badass, devil, you know the guy who played It? You know It? The clown?
Yeah.
The guy who plays It plays, the devil, Lucifer, in the movie called Legend, and it's basically about, Tom Cruise is like this, like, pretty much kind of like a Peter Pan kind of character, but not. He's just like a kid who, like, frolics in the woods and shit and everything, and basically, I guess, Lucifer needs to kill the last two unicorn in order to make, like, all the light of the world go to dark, so he can, like, live outside of hell. And Tom Cruise, like, figures out that that's his plan, and they try to stop it. But it's pretty sweet because the devil is awesome looking. Like, he looks so sick. But, yeah. If they made a zombie movie where it's like, one night, people just start coming out of the grave, like Thriller, That'd be creepy. And they walk, they act like they've been dead for a long time, not running around and being weird. I think that would be awesome. Destroy. How are the, beams coming?
Okay, I guess.
I'm almost done with this, man. Almost. This one whole side is almost completely done. Then it will be on to other things, like the exact same thing on the other side. I'm really excited to start building, like, the Emperor's Palace and stuff. Just have, like, separate rooms and other things going on where you can, like, walk through corridors and have, like, indoor pools and stuff. It's gonna be cool looking. I can show you the world. You ever, like, watched a Disney movie? Have you watched a Disney movie lately? Like one of the old ones. Like, and I mean, I'm not saying lately, like last couple of weeks. I mean, like recent years.
No.
Cause like, I don't know. A while back, like I was like, you know what? I'll give Aladdin a watch again. You know, watch Aladdin. And I made it about 30 minutes into the movie and shut it off. Because I forgot there's a ton of singing. When you're a kid, you're like, I don't mind that, that's cool. But like when you're older, you're like, just get back to the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're in love, I got it, you want to show her the world, move on.
Yeah. Okay, you're 20 and she's 14.
Yeah, it's just...
As a kid, you're just like, oh, they're both really old. So, like, 14 seems like it's really old, and you're like 4 or 5.
Yeah, right? Oh my god. Now I'm one of them. I've become what I thought was weird. This is gonna be nice when this is done. You still hear the zombies like, whoa,
Yeah.
in the background.
The background, even though it's off.
Gotta keep up the creepy atmosphere. So you work today?
Yeah. I work tomorrow.
Yeah. My week begins again tomorrow.
Like Tuesday off.
I really hope I don't work next weekend.
Legion is gonna take
Legion? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's kind of weird. That's not like the same.
Like the movie was it like
The very best part about that movie is when the ice cream truck kind of drives up. It's like that weird, like, long leg, long arm crawl thing.
yeah, that was weird.
It's creepy. Yeah, but that's not the same. I'm talking like, think of like Thriller, like the movie, like the music video, Michael Jackson movie music video, where they just like come crawling out of the ground, and they're all like dead and decomposed and stuff, and some of them could be like recently dead, and other ones could be like from 1600s, so they're all like dressed in rotted clothing that's really dated and stuff. It'd be pretty cool. Like you could even do, oh, that'd be so cool, a witch movie based in the 16th century that raises the dead.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty fucking awesome.
Have like a freaky spell or something. Like they're reading and it just comes out of the grave.
Might be kind of cool if like there's like a witch in the woods back in like we'll say 1680s, because the 90s is when the Salem witch trials happened, so we'll say a little before then. Like children start disappearing from like this village, and we'll say like maybe Massachusetts, since it's Salem, but they start disappearing or whatever, and then like obviously people start to panic, and there's superstition back then of religion and just the fear of the things that go bump in the night and everything. People start going kind of crazy and hysterical and accusing people, and shit happens, and then like those children could she could obviously when she takes them she kills them, but she could like bring them back to life, so like there's like dead children. That'd be fucking creepy. So like at night, like the mother gets woken by her dead child. That'd be pretty crazy.
That would be pretty cool, or like it builds up and like they find the daughter, but like she's acting normal, but she's actually like that, and then at night just
oh, like at night you can tell she's actually dead. During the day she seems normal.
So like
that'd be cool.
So they're lost, they try to find it, and then all of a sudden these kids come back. They're like, "Oh, we missed you," and they act all normal until night.
I think it'd be cool if they acted like normal, but there was something off. Like you could tell, like
off, like just a little bit.
But like in their happiness, they didn't know that like their parents was, like in their happiness that their children are back. They kind of overlook that, and then they start to realize like
they're like all twitching or something.
I just think they should be like quieter than usual. Just kind of more like empty inside. Like they just kind of stare and they don't really like say anything unless they're being talked to.
And even that is like short yes or no questions.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
not like a robot, but it needs to be like definitely, or just not even answer, just be like, just do whatever they say. Like if they're like, go outside and fetch water from the well, and they just kind of like turn and go walk and do
Or
that.
not even just like give a blank stare, and then they don't even know, and then do it like 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
And then like eat like weird things, like go out there and get a rat and start eating it. They're just like, that's unusual.
Oh my god, I have quite a ways to go. This fucking thing is never ending. But yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't know why, but witches are an untapped market, and no one seems to be tackling them. genuinely scary witch movie. And I mean traditionally scary witch movie. I don't mean like a bunch of schoolgirls in some sorority, or, you know, a witch that's like a hot actress that happens to be a witch or something. I'm talking like a creepy old hag in the frickin' woods. It's like kind of ghostly. Like she's. I think it would be cooler if she was almost like. Kind of, they do like the.
Kind of like. Not reinvent the witch in a way, but.
I don't think they should. I don't think they should show too much of her. Like I feel like it should be like. She's more of like a presence, like a spiritual presence than she is like a. Like an actual person.
Yeah, like, you know how they kind of like changed how they kind of reinvented the zombie where at night it ran instead of being it's really slow. Like, I think they should like do that with the witch and kind of reinvent the witch, make it change, and then everybody would be obsessed with witches, be like, oh my god. Then you have a crafting game like this. The witches will be your enemy. Or know your base.
I just think witches are like the scariest of all the monsters. I just feel like they're like conniving and creepy, and they're just like they're kind of like the Freddy Krueger of like traditional monsters, where like they can pretty much get you anywhere. They kind of like laugh at like your despair, you know, like Freddy Krueger will like get off on you being in pain and being screwed, and kind of like witches like the same thing, like they like enjoy like the suffering of others.
Yeah.
And
you just like torture them with the spell or something, and they're just laughing at you. I get a good actress to play that witch and have like the creepiest laugh ever.
Yeah, something like that. Yay. Almost done, almost there. It's almost done. Oh, we can delete this one. Sun needs to come back out, it's getting dark.
Yeah. It's hard to see even with the flashlight.
It's like it hurt me. Already even lighter.
It's
The
the moon.
moon is in the second, and Jupiter aligns with Mars. This is the dawn of the age of Aquarius. I'm storming your castle on my steed, milady. Baxter! Did you poop in the fridge? How did you do that? I'm not even mad at you. Dude, when's Dumb and Dumber coming out? Isn't it October?
I think it's like November.
November?
Yeah, or December. Dracula's out.
Yeah.
And you have to work every day.
No shit, dude. It's my goddamn living nightmare. No! No!
What?
Jupiter aligns with Mars. See, I did it wrong over here, that's why. That's why. I did it wrong on this side. You fucked it up. You fucked it up for everybody. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
Oh, it's like really dark.
But
It's like really dark.
I know, man. This flashlight is a godsend. This is the dawn of the age of Aquarius. Can't wait till this is done. Oh, it's D-Day, we're being bombed! What is that demonry in the air? This is ancient Rome.
Yeah.
It's a heretic.
What's that thing in the sky?
It's a bird, it's a bird.
Yeah, you're gonna say plane. They didn't even know what that was.
What is thou, Elaine? This is the dawn. Moon is going by so quick, it's like... Start getting some sunlight in this bitch.
It's like all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like, seriously.
And all of a sudden, daylight.
Damn it. Okay, one last thing. What? Would you do that to me? Go, Power Rangers! Okay, so this stuff is not stable, but it's quite alright. Just won't touch it. I don't understand how concrete, like these concrete things, can fall off. It's like concrete should be held together with, like, in a mold or something, so it shouldn't be able to fall like that.
Should fall with like 5 other blocks. But they are gonna update concrete, so.
What?
Yep.
In what way?
How you make it?
Oh, that's not gonna affect us.
Well, you could infect the. I mean, our cobblestone in one game got affected.
Yeah, but that was they changed the look of it too. they fuck it up, we'll just take a picture of this and then send it to them and be like, look what you messed up.
Yeah.
Look what the glorious thing that we made in your game, and look how you fucked it up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked
But,
up.
like, now you actually have to use big rebar frames. And you have to make concrete. And you have to pour it in, and it has to dry. But the cool thing is, instead of like, you know, when zombies are breaking through the door, it just has like cracks.
Right.
It's actually gonna have holes.
Concrete?
No, anything. Doors, like wooden doors. They'll actually take a panel of that door off.
I guess that's pretty cool. Dude. Look at that. You see it?
See what?
Our stadium. The whole other side is done.
Nice.
Now just imagine it on both sides. Alright guys, this is gonna wrap up part 15. I hope you enjoyed it. Had some pretty cool conversations about some pretty cool shows and pretty bad movies and pretty bad shows and pretty cool movies. Yep.
Pretty good movies.
That's what I already said.
No, I'm just
But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 16 when we start adding this and the corner here and stuff. I'll probably start doing the track. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for part 16. Alright, guys, have a good one.